seeing a version of some rings. So I'm happy I do not know what the final one looks like, but I'm really excited. And I know everyone involved in the process, starting with Jody. Chuck kind of headed up the whole thing. There's a lot of people involved throughout the building. Just really impressed with like how the process went down, and I know outside of this, I'm really confident it's our guys are gonna be really proud of it. It's gonna be really awesome.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald talking about the Super Bowl rings. The players, coaches, Seahawks support staff will all get those rings tonight. Special offsite ceremony. Very cool night. I'm sure pics of the rings will start coming up on social media tonight. Everybody's going to be showing them off. I love these nights, not only, Paul, for the players and for the coaches, but also for, you know, the guys we work with, the Dave Pearsons out there, Jeff Garza's, Rich Gonzalez, OC, you know, Chris, Julie Barber, because they get rings too. I'm talking about the PR staff there, and there's many others out there, but it's kind of fun. They get a chance to kind of celebrate just like the players and the coaches do.
Yep. Well, now it's all about running it forward. We had a chance to talk to the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Raible, this week out of Minicamp. He likes the mentality of this team coming off its Super Bowl championship.
It's fun to see how these guys together last season won a Super Bowl, set that aside, come back. What did we do to get there to that point? To end up down in Santa Clara, and what do we have to do to get there again? And it's really great watching that mindset.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear Mike McDonald with his new phrase, run it forward, and the players immediately buy in on that. But it is a mindset, isn't it? Because we know physically they have the talent on this team, but it's where you are to start the season with your mind.
Yeah, and it's from year to year, and it's amazing the difference a year makes, especially for the young guys. From my rookie season, now my second season was not as good as it could have been. I ran around with a guy named Ed Marinero, so we did more partying than we did playing, I think, that second year. But the third year, I mean, you really start to understand what you're trying to do offensively, how you're getting your work done as a team, what practice is really all about. You're not out there just to, you know, hang out with the guys. You're out there to get something accomplished every drill. And it takes a little while sometimes for some of the young guys to learn that. The difference now, I think, is from even 15 years ago, 10 years ago, is that the guys coming up through the college ranks are prepared for this kind of practice, of this kind of understanding of offense and defense, of classroom work, of what goes into being a great football player, because they're already doing that in college. Again, it's something different than the old days. So it's great to see. I can't wait to see the young guys who are in their second or third year, how much further they step out and really improve.
Staying with the college guys, Jadarian Price, their first-round draft pick, that running back, you see him out here, and it's like he's built like he's been in the league several years. He looks like he's going to be a good one.
He really does. He's strong. He's built low to the ground. He can bounce off of people. He's very shifty. He was a great return man as well as a running back, and he was also a backup at Notre Dame. I mean, he played a lot, but he was still a backup, which means there wasn't the wear and tear on him that you got maybe on some guys who were the lead, you know, horse on a team and ran the balls a lot for 3 straight seasons in college. So this guy's got, I think, a lot to come here with. You know, his 40 time wasn't spectacular, but you know, you don't win football games based on a 40 time. You win it on how well you avoid guys at the line of scrimmage, how well you bounce off of people if you're a running back, and bounce it outside and run to the goal line. I think he's going to be just fine. I think it was a great choice by John and the gang as the #1 pick.
What was your take on the Myles Garrett move?
You know, it's a great move, and it's a great move for him. Puts him on the West Coast. You know, he wants to be out there. Not that people don't want to be in Cleveland, but I could probably count on one hand the number of people that want to be in Cleveland, especially right now. They've got so many issues there. But the
You're
Rams,
talking about the organization, not
yes,
the city.
No. Yeah, sometimes the city too, but the organization specifically. But yeah, he is going to be a great fit there. But they gave up a lot to get him, and he's 30 some years old. So it's not like he's going to play forever. They're in for this year. This is what the Rams are looking at, is saying we're going to be all in this season, and we're going to try to take the division. We're going to have everything hopefully come through Los Angeles. That's what they're hoping, just as we did last year when everything came through Lumen Field. Now Seattle Stadium. So how about that? they're going to be tougher. You've got Matthew Stafford back. You've got all the weapons that they have back. Puka is probably a year older and a little more mature. I don't know how he could get much better because he was a terrific wide receiver. Their offensive line, fairly stable. Their defense is tough. They retooled their secondary. So they're really going to be tough, and it's going to be, I think, us and the Rams and don't count the 49ers out. They're always tough. They got a quarterback, they got a tight end, and they're kind of redoing a little bit of their defense as well, but they still have some question marks.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about this team. You see the way the mini camps are run these days, the training camps are run. There are no two-a-days. Things have changed so much in this game, and I love what you talk about the old school days. So, like, back in the days, you were doing two-a-days, right? Were there times where you practiced in pads twice a day or something?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, sure.
Can you give us a taste of what that was like?
I have tried to put it out of my mind. I had shock therapy for about a decade to not remember all those things. Well, first of all, we'd always, I lived here after my rookie season, so a lot of us who lived here, and a lot of us did actually, we didn't go back someplace, we all lived in the area. So we'd start showing up at the facility over, which is now Carillon Point, which was then our practice facility. We'd start showing up there in March. And, you want to get out there, you want to kind of get loose, run, do all those things. We'd lift, we'd come out on the field, and we'd work out on our own, throw with Jim, throw with Steve, Sam McCullum, we were all here. And we'd just do that. And we'd kind of increase that until we got to training camp. There was no official, until my last year, until 1981, we didn't even have an official strength and conditioning coach. So we had got one of those guys, and then he beat the daylights out of us as we were getting ready for the 81 season. And that was kind of the next step for the Seahawks to kind of get to where other teams were. But you sort of did it on your own. And Jack's philosophy, Jack Patero, was this is a business, guys. This is a game that's played by men, and you have to understand what you're doing. If you come in and you're not in shape, well, then you'll be gone in a really big hurry. So we all made sure that we were in shape, but there were no mini camps, there were no OTAs. There really wasn't any official classroom activity. We'd just come in some days, and if it was rainy out, we didn't have an indoor facility, so we'd all go sit inside, and we'd call Jerry Rome, our offensive coordinator, hey, give us a couple of cans of film so we can look back and look and see what we did, look at the cut-ups, how we did on offense or whatever. And a lot of it was on our shoulders. And I don't know, I think probably because it is really a very big business and you're wanting to keep these guys healthy and in touch and understanding of what you're trying to do, it's so much more extensive now, but I think it's better. I think this is a better way of doing things, and and it shows on the field. When you take a team like we had, young team last year that a lot of people didn't figure to be in the top 15 teams in the league, and they jump up and Seahawks win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Now, well, we're looking forward to another great season with these guys, and we know they're in good hands with Mike McDonald and John Schneider. The organization itself is just tremendous from head to toe.
Yeah, it really is. Mike, I got to spend some time with him. We did a big charity function for Habitat for Humanity a few weeks ago, and he was great. I emceed the event, but then he and I did a little sit down. They had a couple of chairs there, and we sat and talked to. Gosh, it was a crowd of close to 1,000 people. It was really wonderful, and he is so good, and his ability to explain his philosophy, starting with that, playing it forward now as opposed to looking back on the Super Bowl, but just about what his process is and how important it is. And how important it is, Pete always used to talk about letting the individual come out in all the players. They do it in a little bit different way, but Mike has his own way of doing that, letting the individuals come out. Mike, though, can be a little more old school in that he is a little more focused on, okay, this has got to get done. It's got to get done right now. If you don't do it right, you're going to hear about it right now. We're not going to wait a day or two or a week. This is important in his philosophy on how to coach guys up and get them ready, and also coaches. I remember Mike Holmgren when he was here. Mike could get on guys a little bit, but he really coached his coaches and coached them hard. And in those meetings, some of those guys would come out of there and, whew, boy, that was a rough meeting. And then they'd get out on the field and then they, go to the players, and say, okay, here's what we talked about, and, in a much more calm fashion. But that was Mike. Every coach has his way of doing things. And I think Mike McDonald is I really think he's one of a kind. I know there are guys now that are kind of talking in the same language, but he's just an amazing guy. I mean, and for his age as a coach, I got loafers older than him, and here he is coaching the Super Bowl champs in his second year, and now going into his third season. He knows what it takes to build a football team, and with John Schneider and he together, they've put together a franchise that I think has a chance to really win over the long haul. And that's the secret to a great organization, is can you win not once, but can you at least get to that point, be there for the playoffs and beyond every season.
That is definitely the goal and the mindset of this Seahawks organization, Chris. We've seen it in the short time that Mike McDonald has been here, just 2 years at the helm. Super Bowl championship, and the expectations are high every year. Window's wide open for this team.
Window is wide open. Great to hear from Steve Raible. I know we had the Hall of Famer Warren Moon on the show yesterday, so great to get these Seahawks legends on the show. Paul, I was out there for both the practices, and I think my biggest takeaway from this mandatory minicamp, the biggest takeaway is the fact that all these veterans are there. They're all there. They want all in. And I get it. It's a mandatory minicamp, but we've seen it, Paul. How many years have we seen it? Who's missing from this camp? Who's not here? Who decides not to practice? They're all out there. We saw Devin Witherspoon going all out. And I think the second biggest takeaway, if you're a Seahawks fan, is running back Zach Charbonnet. The fact that he is out there, he is rehabbing, he's coming back from a torn ACL. This is nothing but good news for the Seattle Seahawks. And it's a different world of medicine. We're seeing that with Tarek Skubal. A lot of people said, no way is this guy going to be out there pitching. He's out there. He's going to be pitching again already. So Zach Charbonnet ahead of schedule. Coach McDonald was even asked about that schedule. He says, when it comes to his schedule, I don't even know what it is. I just know it's a good sign what we're seeing right now from Zach Charbonnet.
Yeah, considering that Charbonnet tore his ACL in that playoff game against the 49ers, and the fact that he's out there running around doing some light work on the side, it was a welcome sight this week for sure. But I think that running back room is in good shape with Price. And, you look at the buy-in from this team and the fact that the culture that Mike McDonald and John Schneider have built out there, the fact that they had such a short offseason, they gave DeMarcus Lawrence and some of these old-time vets or long-time vets an extra week, don't have to come to OTAs. They appreciated the fact that coach was thinking about their well-being. Of course, D-Law, he and his wife had a baby shortly after the Super Bowl, so now he has 6 kids. I think he has 2 under 1-year-old, so that's a house full. So, and the coach understands that. Mike McDonald has his first child. He knows what it's like running around with the little ones, so it was cool to see him give that respect to the vets. They really appreciated. That's all part of the fact that these guys are all buying in to the culture and what Mike McDonald expects from them, and they're more than willing to give it back to their coach.
Yeah, tonight they're all going to be bought in with a big old ring on their finger that says Super Bowl champion. So I think that may inspire them to have a nice offseason and get ready to work come July 25th.
I'm glad you brought up the Super Bowl rings, because it seems like the champs from every year, they try to outdo the prior champs. And I got to tell you this, I did a little looked this up to see just how much these rings cost. And the Rams are on record for having the most expensive ring per player. Roughly $1 million went into each Super Bowl ring that the Rams got winning Super Bowl 56 over the Bengals. So the Rams own that top spot, Chris, of the most expensive Super Bowl ring ever produced. I wonder what the Seahawks are going to do.
And it is not official yet. I'm just going to throw it out there because I heard a couple people talking about it yesterday. The Seahawks may put out there some replica rings that the fans could buy for a very high price, with the money going to a good cause. When that becomes official, we'll let you know. But stay tuned for that information. And stay tuned, Paul. I got my science gear. I'm ready to roll today. Yeah.